What's up everybody? On today's episode of What's Wrong With My Dimmer, misfires. So apparently a few of my ignition coils and spark plugs have given up and need to be replaced. So I went to a shop, they quoted me about 140,000 yen, which is roughly $1,000 with the current exchange rate, which is far too much. The parts and sales are about maybe $200, so I decided to do it myself, and I'm going to show you how you can do it yourself. It's a fairly easy fix. The replacing of the spark plugs and ignition coils is fairly simple. However, you have to remove, in order to take the engine cover off, you have to remove the brace strut. So for that you will need a special socket, two special sockets, and a replacement bolt, because these bolts are one-time use according to BMW's standards. This is a very common tune-up point at around 70,000 kilometers. So because of that, if you are near that and or want to remove the improve the brace strut, this is a perfect time to do both of them at the same time. So let me show you what you need for this repair, and let's get to it. So for this repair you will need the ignition coils. I got these from Dinan, but you can get Bosch as well, or some other manufacturers. I'll leave all of this in the descriptions down below. You will need spark plugs. So these are Bosch. There's also NGK, and they will tell you this is the serial number. These are stock ones. They will tell you exactly what is the torque. Don't do more than that. And these are, as I mentioned, these are stock spark plugs. If you have any tune, you might want to consider different colder ones. These have a gap of 0.8 millimeter. I will leave the serial numbers down in the description below, but there are some similar sounding ones that have been out of production. I'll explain in the description. You will need the spark plug socket. This is a 14-point socket and a 14 millimeter wall. Now these are quite commonly used in BMW engines because it's very tight in there. You will want to have one with a magnet. This one has a magnet, so when you pull it out, it doesn't fall out of the socket. You will want to have a extension rod for the sockets like this, a normal wrench, and you need a torque wrench. So this one will tell you how much torque you have on the thread. You will use this for both the spark plugs and the brace strutting. These bolts, I couldn't find them anywhere in Japan. I got them from ECS Tuning and imported them for about $40. These are very cheap. These are just a few hundred yen. I got them in ECS Tuning. I'll leave the link below, down below. And you will need sockets for these bolts as well. These are E14. This is E18 and this is E14. So for the smaller and the bigger one, you will need one bigger one and one smaller one, because we're just going to remove one side. And you will need normal hexagonal sockets for the interior bay trim. And that's about it. These parts are probably about total $400 US. Each ignition coil was about $27 US, so about 3,000 yen. The spark plugs themselves were 1,300 yen, so what amounts to about $10 each. So in total, this is a fairly simple and cheap repair that you can do yourself. So let's go to the car and let's start the repair. So one more thing you'll need is a Torx T30 bit. There is one single bracket that you need this for, but you can't finish the repair without this. Okay, so this is about a 20-minute repair, so let's get started. First thing you need to do is remove this engine cover. You just pop it out, grab below. There's two hinges down here, and there is a few of these inserts. They like to pop out, so make sure that they're not stuck on the engine cover. Anyway, you put this aside, gently aside, and move on. So the next step is we need to remove this engine cover as well, but in order to do this, we'll need to remove half of the engine bay here, right? So the next step is remove the cold air intake. You don't need to remove the entire thing, just this part here. And in order to remove this, you need to remove the mass airflow sensor over there. So let's get this. I recommend having a having something like a screwdriver, and there is a small clip on this side. I'll just try to show you here. There's a small clip here, so just gently pop it. Just gently pop it, and remove the mass airflow sensor. Now you can remove the cover for the filter, right? Now to do this, there are clips here, here, and here. So, and it slides out. There are some hinges on this side, right? There you go. Okay. So this is off, and you need to untighten this this strap here. Let's do this. Let's untighten this strap here. Need to untighten it quite a bit. So let's remove this on the side, wiggle it out, and there you go. Now I have access to this part. Put this aside, and let's continue. So we can still not remove the engine cover. We need to remove this trim. There's 3 parts to it, 4 parts, right? This, and the below parts. So let's remove the left cover first. There is a clip here. If you can show it, remove that one. There's a clip on this side as well here. Remove that, lift it up, put it aside. Let's go to the next side. Same thing. There's a clip here. Just remove the clip. This, and there's one exactly like that on the other side. Remove it. There's some rubber band here. Okay, put it aside. Let's move on. So for the next part, we'll need a I think this is 6mm hexagonal socket. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. So let's remove that. 1, 2, 2 more. Put them aside. Don't lose them. Okay. Okay, so let's remove this. As with everything, be gentle. This looks like air conditioning filter. Put this aside as well. Now we need to remove this metal piece, and it's mounted on 2 of these 6mm bolts and some rubber ring here. But before this, you need to remove the there's another air sensor. So how you do this is you twist it and you gently pull it out. There are clips here which I've removed previously. Be very careful with that so that you don't deform them permanently. Put this aside, and let's move on. Okay, that's done. And now remove this by sliding it out. There are some clips embedding it here. Slide it out. And there are some rubber hinges here which you need to remove. Okay, and that's it. So put this aside as well. And now comes the fun part. We still cannot remove the engine cover. We need to remove the strut. In order to do this, we need to remove these bolts. There's a bolt here, and there's a central bolt here. This one, I recommend. It's very tight. I recommend opening with a coin. So let me grab a coin. So let me move this like this. There you can see the bolt inside. Let's start with the small one. We need a E14 Torx socket in here, and it goes pretty easily. Okay, it's out. Move this aside. Don't mix it up with the new bolts, and for the other you need the E18. Okay, so this one's pretty tight. It's torqued at around 100 Newton meters. Ah, there you go. Okay, it's the other bolt. So now you can slide this out. You see it has an opening here, and put it aside. And now we can remove the rear engine cover. So for this we still need to remove some clips. So let's get to that. The first thing to remove is this clip here holding all the pipes. Ah, there you go, like this. Just like this. Put it aside. And the corrugated pipe here. So I've removed this previously, but there's a clip here. It looks like this when it's together. So you just kind of twist it open, and it will jump out. Twist it open, and it will jump out. So remove it from the groove. Remove this, and now you should be able to remove the rear engine cover. So the rear engine cover, as well as the front one, is just clipped onto the engine base. So you pull a little bit. Make sure not to pull on any of the cables. There's a clip here. You remove this. There's a clip here. Remove that. There's a clip here, right here. You remove that one, and there should be another one here. Yes. So now we can remove the. Make sure to remove all three pipes. Now we can remove the engine cover. Be gentle and be careful not to break anything. Aye, there you go. Move this aside. Whew. So now we can finally get to the ignition coils. So let's get going. So next step is we need to remove these connectors here. There's a press clip here. You press it and you gently lift it up. Put it aside. The same on the other end. Gently lift it up, and that's it. And now we need to remove this bracket. So for this we need a Torx screw. This one is a T30. Let's remove this. Make sure your bolt doesn't fall into the engine bay. That is painful. So we should be able now to move this bracket aside, and indeed we can access the ignition coils. So now we're ready to remove the ignition coils and replace the ignition coils and the spark plugs. So how you do this is fairly simple. You lift up this latch. This is already detached, and you remove the connector here. I can show you on this one. Lift up the latch, and as you push the latch, the connector will disconnect and disengage, and you gently remove the connector. So we will do one by one. Let's first remove this. You just push out. This one has already been out, but and this one hasn't. This one hasn't been out yet, so it might be a little bit tight. Make sure not to break the plastic, and you see, create vacuum. So this is how the inside looks like. As you can see, we need to remove this this spark plug. So let's do that. Let's get our spark plug socket. Push it in gently and remove the spark plug. There you go. Okay, this is the old spark plug. Hold on, you're right. See how dirty this looks? Used and abused. So let's replace this. And for this, we will need a torque wrench to 23 Newton meters. 23 Newton meters. Okay. Touch it. And gently slide it in. Okay, and there you go. Tighten it until you hear the crack. that's it. Do this 6 times. So I'm gonna replace them. So, and next step is to insert the ignition coil. So spark plug is inside. Just insert it gently. Till it fits all the way inside, and reconnect the connector and push this in once the connector snaps in place. There you go. New ignition coil, new spark plug from Dinan this time. So at 6 times. Well, let's get going. Okay, so all of the spark plugs and ignition coils are exchanged. Now it's time to reassemble everything. Just go to in the reverse order as you did. But there is one thing that you need to take care of, and that is the strut bracing. So I'm going to show you how to do it. So now it's ready to everything is ready to return the brace strut. Just slide it in the same way you took it out. Make sure that it lines up with the bolt hole here, okay, and the bolt hole here, and take the new bolt and just position it inside for now. Just position it inside for now, okay, and this one as well. Position both. So, and now torque specifications. So the upper bolt is 100 Newton meters. The lower bolt is 40 Newton meters. Both of them, after you do 100 Newton meters or 40 Newton meters, you add 45 to 50 degree angle. Although some say it might be too much. So I'll add a little bit of an angle. But this is essentially so that the bolt becomes over tight. But anyway, 40 Newton meter, 100 Newton meters. Let's do this. 100 Newton meters. Okay, so let's bolt it in. Now let's do this one on 40 Newton meters. Okay, so then it said do a little bit of an angle. I'm just gonna over tighten it a little bit. So we start from here, maybe like 20-30 degree, and the same for the upper bolt. I'm not gonna go all the way to 50 degrees because I don't want to snap the bolt, but you may want to do that. Okay, so that's it. That's the major part. The rest is just reassembly. There's nothing to be afraid anymore. So I'm gonna go do that, and I'm going to check if the car is working. But yeah, this is spark plug and ignition coil replacement on the N55 on my E93 here. I hope you guys liked this video. If this was of any help for you, please make sure to like, and if you want to see more, also subscribe. It really helps me a lot and the channel. And thank you for watching, and see you next time. So this is all reassembled. Now is the moment of truth. Let's turn it on. Wow. Yeah, works fine. It looks like it's working. I need to see how to remove the error code. I have a coder, I have a code reader and a coder I got from my Carly, but it definitely works. The plugs have been replaced, the misfire is gone. I need to remove the code, but yeah, this is how you do it.